Okay, we are live. Welcome to the happy half hour. Okay, welcome to the happy half hour. I am your host for this happy half hour. I am Reader Services Librarian Carol Ann Tack, and I welcome you to my kitchen where we spend our happy half hour. So, you all know what this is. I'm not going to say it, but happy Friday. And I want to welcome all of you. Thank you all for coming. I'm glad to see you. You could be doing many other things on this Friday night at 5 o'clock and watching many other things. I am thrilled that you decided to spend it here. So it was a long week, but it was a good week. We had a wonderful, wonderful Earth Week here at the Facebook page. We did all kinds of celebrating. We had videos and slideshows of all our favorite places. Last week, we did an Earth Day quiz, which we celebrated. See, I got all my little Earth globe. I got all my globes. And it was great because we celebrated all week. We started with the quiz last week. And then today, we wrap things up. But as far as we're concerned, every day is Earth Day, right? So, Mary Jean, hello, darling. How are you? Hold on. Happy Friday. Okay, so like I was saying, we're talking about Earth Week. So one of the things that we do, we have Billy's Boredom Busters, and Billy is one of the most creative staff members that we have at Merrick, and he did something today that you could watch on the Facebook page. He created a completely recycled planter, and I am happy to say that I actually have the planter in my house. Hello, Billy. I'm going to go grab it. So, see this? He took a plastic bottle and he recycled it and he painted it. And for those of you, I'm never going to get this, for those of you who want to know, this is the Thanos glove, the gauntlet. And he put a really pretty little flower in there, but he recycled the whole thing. So he took the plastic bottle, he took the bottle caps, painted the bottle caps, and he threw a plant in. I will never be that creative. But I will be holding this for ransom because Thanos is my thing. So this is what he created. You can find that not only on our YouTube channel, Merrick Library NY, but you can also find how to make this on the Facebook page, which I think went up earlier today. So this is the most amazing gauntlet with this beautiful little pansy inside. So, all right, I'm gonna go put him back now. Don't come to my house and try to get this from me because I'm not going to give it to you. Okay. Except maybe Billy. Maybe Billy's the only one who's allowed to have it. Okay. So, more and more people are coming in. Welcome, Merrick patrons. Welcome to the Facebook Live Happy Half Hour. I hope you guys are all staying home, staying safe, and staying healthy. We really miss our Merrick patrons. I hope you guys are doing well. Thank you for all your continued support. You guys are rock stars. We loved seeing you at the book discussion I did last week, and we love seeing you participate at all the story times and all of the children's events and all of the emails that we're getting from you guys. It's amazing. So we appreciate all of your continued support, even though the building is closed. We're still open. So I want to thank you all for coming. Now, last week we had a special guest. We had Erica Swiler, the author. She kind of came in and started chatting with us on the chat here, which was amazing and thrilling, and I was completely starstruck, but somehow I managed to keep it together, although you guys might decide that I didn't do such a good job. So there's a lot to get to today. So yes. Yes, Mira, maybe. I do like the planter, so we'll see what happens. We have a big thing to celebrate. We hope, but we're not sure. We need all our viewers to take part in the Belmore Merrick book battle. It ends next Thursday, is April 30th. So if you want to get your votes in quick, somewhere in the chat, I hope someone will throw in a link. I don't know who, but there is a place you can go to register all of your titles. So keep doing that. It's adults and children, so everyone can participate. Anything you read, graphic novels, children's books, adult books, nonfiction, everything counts. So please do that. That'd be great. The other thing I want to mention is, hi Denise. Mwah. The other thing I want to mention, for those who are playing at home, you all know what this is. So if you think you know what this is, you can put that in the comments too. I'm not going to say what it is. This is happening Wednesday, May 6th at 7 p.m. I am hosting a Zoom event, which is a Zoom book discussion, and we're going to be reading Searching for Sylvia Lee. This is available on Hoopla. If you are a Merrick patron, you just pop into Hoopla on the website, download the book, and you're good to go. It is also available on Overdrive. So if your library has access to Overdrive, you can also get the book there. Again, with your library card, and you're good to go. So that's a Zoom event on Wednesday, May 6th. There is an event place on the Facebook page where you can go and register for that. And then we're good to go. It's 7 o'clock. So like I said, I usually go to bed at 9:30. I promise not to keep you too long. Somebody mentioned to me today that my YouTube videos, I forgot to load the one from last week. Listen, you know, things happen. But it will be up hopefully over this weekend, and you can find that on our YouTube channel. You can find Billy's Boredom Busters on the YouTube channel. You can find Miss M's story times, Miss Phyllis's stories. Everybody's story times are up and running on the YouTube channel, and that's Merrick Library, New York. And you know what? I want to know what you guys are reading. I'm going to tell you what I'm reading in a little while. But oh no, here he is. If you were here from episode 1, you know what this means. No, we couldn't get Joe Exotic, but that's all right. He sent this guy instead. So I'm going to let him go back down now and recuperate. Last week, we had a lot of fun with our quiz for Earth Day. Thank you very much to Jill, librarian Jill. She's amazing. She came up with an incredible quiz that most of you did fairly well with. So we may have another quiz this tonight. But the other thing I wanted to tell you is, did you know that we have a Pinterest page? Now, I'm not a Pinterest follower. I don't really know what it is or what it does. I mean, I have one and I don't go in very often, but our Pinterest page is very popular. So that's what it looks like, Pinterest, right? And that's the little Merrick Library logo. So you log into Pinterest, and what's great is that Pinterest, the Merrick Library Pinterest page has curated content. So it's got all of the best books recommended by library staff members in fiction, nonfiction. It's got young adult and children's. So that's the first page you'll see when you get into Pinterest. And then you can see some of the sections that we have available. I just loaded up last night. I had, this is actually Michelle. She's incredible. She runs this Pinterest page, and let me tell you something, that woman is so creative. She's another one, her and Billy, creative minds. I just don't think that way. But last night I gave her about, I think I want to say I gave her 10 chiller thriller titles, and these are really not for the faint of heart, but some of my favorite over the years that really made me keep the lights on, because I don't get scared that easily, although my kids will probably say that's not true. But you can certainly go onto the Pinterest page and see these thrillers and chillers. And some of these are my absolute favorite. And one of them is actually called Mother's Day by Renee Knight. It's a novella, so it's a shorter novel. And whew, wow. So anyway, check out this Pinterest page. This is by staff, user experience staff member Michelle, and she does an amazing job. So check out Pinterest. Good. So tell me what you're reading. Oh, let me see here. I'm a little bit behind on the comments. There's my executive producer. Hello, Lori. Hello, Lori. Look, yes, the Tiger King. Oh, and I see Michelle. Welcome, Michelle. Previous viewers know exactly what this is. If you know what it is, you can write it in the comments. I'm not going to tell. Okay, begins with the letter D. I also, in case some of you did not see this last week, one of my favorite pieces of artwork that I created was this little slide of user experience librarian Josh. See that fancy font right there? Me and my red pencil. Okay, that's one of my favorite things. Okay, so what we're going to be doing today is talking about canopy. What the heck is canopy? Yes, it could be something that you use outside on your patio, but no, canopy, over 30,000 movies, which I think beats Netflix, to be honest. You can get access to the greatest collection of movies. It really is an incredible collection. It started out as an educational distributor, and then they provided all of these like film nerd type titles. There's over 400 Criterion titles, which is amazing. Very hard to find all of that in one location. So it's kind of a Netflix alternative. I love it. I use it all the time. And this little heart up there is me. I wrote that because it's Merrick Library. So what are our staff picks for our canopy content? Yes. Oh, okay. Well, here come the people's choice. Dr. Pepper, Kool-Aid, Dr. Pepper. It's Dr. Pepper if you believe that. Lori, I don't know. I will take a sample. I'll never tell. I will never tell. We had this conversation earlier this week over our Zoom meeting. I will never tell. Hello, Evelyn. Love to see you. Oh, so Mary Jean says she just finished searching for Sylvia Lee, and she's reading The Most Fun We Ever Had. I am working diligently to have Claire Lombardo come in on a Facebook Live. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Stay tuned for that, because that would be a dream come true. She is amazing, and that book is just, wow, is that good. It's called The Most Fun We Ever Had by Claire Lombardo. It is not available on Hoopla, but you can get it on Overdrive, so if you want to check that out. So we're going to start off with some Canopy staff picks, and you can certainly in the comments give me some of your movie favorites and what you're reading. I'd love to hear, and we can talk about that. The great thing about Canopy is not only does it have adult entertainment and young adults, but it's got a whole, I still can't get this, it's got a whole kids section. So there's educational things, but there's also fun things and videos, and it's just a fun thing for kids. And it's another option, even though you've got so many, I am telling you the Canopy is a really great option for you. So don't miss it. Okay, so because I asked all of the reader services librarians what their favorites were, I'm going to start off with reader services librarian Jill with her top 3 choices. Michelle says she's reading the annotated Alice in Wonderland. I bet that's amazing. And Lori said she loves reading series, especially now. Yeah, because, you can sort of stick with it and keep fresh. So this is from Jill. Jill's choices, her staff picks are Donnie Darko, Memento, and the Skeleton Twins. All 3 of these are rated R. Donnie Darko, most of you have heard of it. Maybe you didn't want to see it. Maybe you don't want to see it. Maybe you want to see it again. You can see it as many times as you like on Canopy. Jake Gyllenhaal plays a troubled teenager who's plagued by visions of a man in a large rabbit suit. So it's rated R. Just remember that. It's excellent. I mean, we can recite lines from it because we all love it so much, but not for everybody. Memento was a huge hit in 2001. A man with short-term memory loss attempts to track down his wife's murderer. This is edge-of-your-seat stuff with Guy Pearce and that amazing Carrie-Anne Moss. I love her. I just love everything she does. And then the last one is the Skeleton Twins, and this is from 2014, and it's Kristen Wiig and Bill Hader. They estranged twins reunite with the possibility of mending their relationship. Something sort of brings them together. Also a good movie. Dramas. These are all dramas, and they're all rated R, but ready to go, and you can watch them. And then we have from librarian Lori. Oh, Miera says she's been reading Atomic Habits, and it's really interesting. Oh, I would like to hear. I'd like to hear about that actually, because I've seen that. I don't know. I don't know if I could keep it all in my head, Miera. Michelle says, yes, there's a rabbit in her book too, I'm sure. Yes, if you're reading Annotated Alice in Wonderland. Lori agrees. She loves Jill's titles, but guess what Lori has? Now, this is a movie I have never heard of before. I did not know it was a book. I did not know it was a Broadway show. So I am thrilled that she brought it up because it's something that I missed, and I will now go back and watch it because if Lori recommends it, we all have to check it out. And it is called Flower Drum Song. It's a 1961 classic musical romantic comedy. So checks off every box. A young woman arrives in San Francisco's Chinatown from Hong Kong with the intention of marrying a nightclub owner, but he has a different plan. Everybody has a different plan? You think everyone has a plan? No, everybody has a different plan. Okay. It was a Broadway show, I believe, in 1957. The book came out in 1956 or 57, and then when it became a movie, it was nominated for 5 Academy Awards. It was nominated for Golden Globe for Best Picture and Best Actress. Because it was 1961, there were no motion picture ratings back then. So I don't know, Lori, what do you think? Is it PG-13? Is it PG? Don't worry, Jill, I got some choices for you coming up soon. But this one looks like a really good bet. So I will be checking this one out, Lori, because I don't know anything about it. And it's about 132 minutes. So it's called Flower Drum Song. So we can check that out on Canopy. No waiting list either. You just go in and you start watching it. So we go from Jill and the Flower Drum Song with Lori, and now we're going to go to Shannon, librarian Shannon. You ready for these choices? Shannon's first choice here is one of my favorite movies. It's just amazing that we both kind of found each other, that we both like this movie. So she's got 3 movies. They are all rated probably R. The first one is Swiss Army Man, which, for heaven's sake, is a hopeless man stranded on a desert island befriends a dead body. Yes. And together they go on a surreal journey to get home. And this stars Daniel Radcliffe and Paul Dano from 2016. Okay, so we all love Harry Potter. This is a different side of, so Lori is saying Flower Drum Song, PG-13. Okay. Kathy said it was so great, she loved it. So, so I'm assuming you mean Flower Drum Song, or do you mean Donnie Darko, Kathy? I'm not sure which one, so you'll write it in the comments so I can be clearer to everybody. Yes, it's Shannon. Swiss Army Man is oddly wholesome. It's just, I can't explain it. I would say that it's a buddy movie because that's kind of what it is. It's a buddy movie. And if you haven't seen it, I don't know who I would recommend it to. It's dark, but it's a dark comedy, and it's great. It's one of those hard to qualify movies, hard to describe, but very worth your time. And sometimes those are the best movies when you can't describe them. Then we've got a movie here called Coherence. So the next 2, I am thrilled that Shannon mentioned them because I haven't seen either one of these. So, and if it's going to be the weather like it is right now, where it's 40 degrees out, which is good because then it makes us all stay home. And we tend not to want to stay home when it's a nice day. Strange things begin to happen when a group of friends gather for a dinner party on an evening when a comet is passing overhead. Now, there's some kind of meteorological event happening next week. I'm going to try to say it better the next time. There is an event happening next week. I think an asteroid is getting very close to Earth. Oh, Flower. So Kathy is saying she loved Flower Drum Song. So Kathy Witter also stamp of approval. So Kathy works for Merrick Library. She works at Merrick Library. I see her often. And this is the second staff pick for this movie. Okay. But getting back to this. So this movie, Coherence, I'm intrigued. I am all in. And then Shannon and I can compare notes. And then the last one on here was a movie that I did miss when it came out, and I did want to see it. And that is called, what the heck is it called? Oh, Unsane. There it is. Unsane. It's 2018. It is rated R. A young woman is involuntarily committed into a mental institution where she's confronted by her greatest fear. But is it real or a delusion? Now, tell me that doesn't sound interesting. Maybe not to you. Maybe you're going to the refrigerator to get some cheese to eat, snack or something. But it stars Claire Foy. Everybody knows her from the Crown. And Steven Soderbergh is the director. So those are, now I've got 3 movies that I have to check out. So those are from Jill. Swiss Army Man, Coherence, and Unsane. So from Shannon. These are picks from Shannon, staff picks. But now we're going to go something a little lighter from, yes, it does sound like I Never Promised You a Rose Garden. I remember that. That movie scared the heck out of me, Lori. Holy cow. Remember that? Quinlan, Karen Ann Quinlan, I think? Kathleen? I can't remember, but something like that. Okay. So these are choices from librarian Christine Canopy. One of them is called Leave No Trace. These are all PG or PG-13 movies. This is from 2018. Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 100%. Leave No Trace, a military veteran father with PTSD, played by Ben Foster, lives in the forest with his young daughter. And it's a story of love and survival in the wild. Another movie that I meant to see and I didn't. So thank you for that, Christine. And then Hearts Beat Loud stars Nick Offerman, Kiersey Clemens, and Blythe Danner, and a father and a daughter form an unlikely songwriting duo in the summer before she leaves for college. And this is a really sweet film. I really liked it. And it's Nick Offerman. He doesn't do anything badly. And then the last one is The Bookshop. This is actually based on the novel by Penelope Fitzgerald. And it's about a widow who risks everything to open up a bookshop in an unlikely town. It is sweet and it is smart and it is based on the novel. I read the novel. I really enjoyed it, but I did not see the movie. So I guess I'm busy this weekend. PG, and it came out in 2018. Now, any movies you guys have seen that you want to chime in on, let me know. I would love to talk about it, but I'm going to give you a quick quiz since we're talking about movies. When was the very first Academy Awards held? It was held in the Blossom Room of the Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel. What year? Was it 1924, 1929, 1935, or 1941? The year the first Academy Awards ceremony was held, 1924, 1929, 1935, or 1941. Okay, I was not around for any of that, but and I have the answer, so I have an advantage. Evelyn is saying 1926. That wasn't one of the choices unless I said it wrong. 1924, 1929, 1935, and 1941. If I said 1926, I'm sorry. Leave No Trace was really great, Kathy is saying. And Mary Jean says she saw all 3 of these movies and she really loved them. And Kathy loved Leave No Trace. Denise says 1929. Lori says 1935. Anybody else? The year of the first Academy Awards. See, this is not fair because I have the answer key. Well, maybe next time I won't look. I'll have someone ask me and we'll see how we do. Okay, so we've got 24, 29, 35, or 41. Evie, so Evelyn said she thought it was 1926, but she said it before me. Whew. I was like, well, this Dr. Pepper is a little stronger than I thought. Okay, so the next group of movies, and I'll tell you in just a second, I want to wait for more people to be able to ring in. We've got Denise saying 1929, Billy saying 1929, Lori says 35. It is very easy when you have all the answers. If only I had all the answers all the time, but I don't. There's only one person I know who has all the answers all the time. Her name is Diane. Okay, the answer to that question, the very first Academy Award ceremony was held in 1929. So if you got it right, take a sip. If you got it wrong, take a sip. Plenty of soda to go around, plenty of Dr. Pepper to go around. And we'll get to the next question in a moment, because there's a couple of really good ones here. Right, Michelle, yes, 1929. Clink. Okay, now I've got titles from Librarian Bill. Thank you, Lori. And I love Bill's first title. And this is a movie that I think you forget that you've always wanted to go for. Denise, I'm with you. You forget this movie is out there. If you saw it, you saw it a really long time ago. Go back and watch this movie again, because as soon as Bill gave this to me as a choice, I thought, oh my gosh, I have to stop exactly everything that I'm doing to watch this movie. And it is a huge classic and a huge thriller, The Spy Who Came In From the Cold. So if you can forget James Bond for a minute and just step into the chilling world of spies and counter spies, this is Richard Burton here. He was nominated for a Best Actor award for his role as the burned out British agent who refuses to come in from the cold to take a desk job, and instead he launches into the most dangerous assignment of his career, stalking an East German agent who is played by Oscar Werner. This is John le Carré's best-selling novel. It provides the basis for this thriller of espionage. It was nominated for all kinds of Academy Awards, and Oscar Werner won a Best Supporting Actor for the Golden Globes that year in 1965. It's rated R. Listen, you got to go back and watch it. It's really edge of your seat stuff. And of course, you know, Richard Burton, and it's a period piece because it came out so long ago, so obviously it's not current, but it is timeless in its delivery. It is just a perfect film. Like I said, edge of your seat stuff, and it's really, really good when you're looking for that solid thriller. It precedes all the Bourne movies and all of that. This is a great one. Yes, Michelle says Richard Burton is fantastic in it, and it's a great film. So thank you, Bill. This is a winner. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. This is a good one. He gave us two other ones, and I love Bill's choices because a lot of them are a little dark, but they have a little mystery involved. The first one he gives us is also on Canopy, and this is Murder on the Orient Express, but the 1974 version, starring Albert Finney, which is also a great film. Just gonna do this. Great film. This is also on Canopy. You can go right to the Merrick Library homepage. When you scroll down to the middle, you'll see a bunch of little tabs. Canopy will show up, and the logo looks like this. That middle one. Okay, so he recommends Murder on the Orient Express. This one, the 1974 film, stars, listen to this, Lauren Bacall, Ingrid Bergman, Sean Connery, John Gielgud, Vanessa Redgrave, Michael York, Jacqueline Bisset, and Anthony Perkins. It is rated PG. So, I mean, when you think about it, the book came out in 1934, and it's still one of the most popular books that are out there by Agatha Christie. You can get it as an audiobook. It's just terrific that way too. So it's a really good classic, and you know, it kind of reminds me of Knives Out. If you haven't seen that, that's worth the look also, because it's a whodunit. You know, there's a lot of red herrings and fun stuff. So that's something also Bill recommends from Canopy. And then lastly, because God, we need a little light stuff, he recommends The Marx Brothers, A Night in Casablanca. You don't really even need to know what it's about. Just know that it's the Marx Brothers. And it's a 1946 classic. And they're just so funny. And, you know. Although Lori says there's nothing like the original film of, you mean the original film of Murder on the Orient Express, right, Lori? So I don't remember seeing that, but I guess I don't even know what year that came out. So I want to say in the 40s maybe, but maybe not. So we'll see if we can get. Yes, Christine, it is. I remember we talked about this on a podcast episode, didn't we? Murder on the Orient Express. I think so. It is a fantastic audiobook. I think we talked about this, and I'm like, did we talk about that? And I guess we did. So, woo-hoo. Yes, Christine, librarian Christine is a audio queen. So, Lori, yes, okay, the original version, which I feel like that also had an all-star cast, but I'll try to find that. But before I get to the rest of the titles, here's another question for you. Oscar question, little trivia. What two actresses tied for Best Actress in the 1968 Academy Awards ceremony? Yes, we did, Christine. Okay. So two actresses, 1968 Academy Awards. None of us were born then, I know. So we really don't really know for sure who won, who didn't. None of us were around then. But maybe you can take a guess. So, two actresses tied for Best Actress, 1968. Was it Joanne Woodward and Vanessa Redgrave, Liza Minnelli and Genevieve Bujold, Katharine Hepburn and Barbara Streisand, or Anne Bancroft and Audrey Hepburn? 1968, two women tied. And who was it? Joanne Woodward, Vanessa Redgrave, Liza Minnelli, Genevieve Bujold, Katharine Hepburn, Barbara Streisand, or Anne Bancroft and Audrey Hepburn. Just so you know, when I took the test myself, I answered three times, all three were wrong. So I got them wrong. I did not know this, so it was just fun to take this quiz. So if you don't like that question, we can go to the next one. But I do want to talk about my choices for Hoopla. I'm sorry, for Canopy. So, if you have seen, Denise is the first choice, Joanne Woodward and Vanessa Redgrave. That was my first choice. Lori, Katharine Hepburn and Barbara Streisand. You know what? Lori's so smart. She's right. It is Katharine Hepburn and Barbara Streisand. The 1968 Academy Awards, Katharine Hepburn won for The Lion in Winter. And Barbara Streisand won for, anybody guess? 1968. Barbara Streisand won for Funny Girl. And they both tied for Best Actress. And so both of them received the award. Anne Bancroft and Audrey Hepburn, they did not, although that seemed plausible to me. Like I said, I answered three times. Every single one was wrong. So it was not yes, Funny Girl. That's right, Denise. It was Funny Girl. Absolutely. Here you go. What year were the Oscars first broadcast in color? So I'll talk about my films after I give you the multiple choice questions. The Oscars were first broadcast in color in what year? 1951, 1956, 1961, and 1966. Okay. Yes, I know, Lori, you remember when it happened. Denise, yes, Funny Girl. Michelle, yes, Funny Girl. And so what year were the Oscars first broadcast in color? 51, 56, 61, or 66? With that, we'll come back to the answers shortly. But first, I'm a little thirsty. Okay. Ready? How many of you have seen Jojo Rabbit? So I love that movie. And the director is a fellow New Zealand director. His name is Taika Waititi. And I really became aware of him because of a movie called Thor Ragnarok, because obviously I like the Marvel movies. My son and I, he got me all crazy with these. Marvel movies, but I didn't realize he was the director at the time. And my son kept saying, Mom, that's Taika Waititi. But it never really registered. And then when Jojo Rabbit came out, he said, Mom, that's the same director. And so, having said that, he came out with this other movie that is available on Canopy. And if you haven't seen it, it is delightful. It is called Hunt for the Wilder People. I did not know he directed this movie, and I've seen it twice, and I had no idea that it was him. It is a terrific comedy. It's about a little boy named Ricky. He lives in the city. He's a smart aleck. He's so tough. And he has an uncle that he's a little smart mouth with and all of these other things. But now they find themselves on the run. I will not tell you why. And they wind up in the wild New Zealand bush country. And the two of them are first forced to work together. It's a sincere and funny portrait of family life, and I loved it. And then I loved it even more when I realized who the director was. So this is from the director of Jojo Rabbit, and if you haven't seen Jojo Rabbit, you have to see it. I know that before we were all working from home, we had the movie available as a DVD in the library. So because you can't maybe see that now, you can see this instead. It is wonderful, and I highly recommend it. Sam Neill and the young kid, and it is great. So, Jill, I love Jojo Rabbit. I know. It's like the best movie. It's just the best movie. So he did do this one. Like I said, I didn't know he was the director until my son started telling me, Mom, you know who the blah, blah, blah. So, the answer to what year were the Oscars first broadcast in color? We've got a bunch of answers here. Evelyn says 66, Michelle 61, Denise 56, Lori 66. You know, that Lori, man. Lori, you got a tip on the lotto number? She's right. It's 1966. Good for you, Lori. Here, let's all have a little toast to Dr. See the D? Dr. Pepper. Toast to Lori. Forgetting, I think she's 2 for 2. Maybe she's 3 for 3. Okay, then the last movie I'm going to mention, because I just realized how long I'm going, and I apologize for that. Okay, this is dark. This is a dark movie. This is not The Hunt for Wilder People, which is PG-13. The movie I'm about to tell you is not PG-13. It's not. And it is Midsummer. And this is from 2019. And I don't have any words for this one. Rated R. A couple traveled to Sweden to visit their friend's rural hometown for a big fabled midsummer festival and all of these wonderful festivities, but things don't go quite the way they think they're supposed to go, which is probably, I wrote here, the understatement of the year, because it really is the understatement of the year. This movie is not for the faint of heart. It is a dark movie. It is spellbinding, and you cannot take your eyes off of it. And I saw it first with my daughter, and I think we were screaming through the whole movie with, I can't even tell you. I'm not even going to say. It is excellent. It is really good. You really have to go in knowing what you're going to get. Okay, so you've got very, very dark and very, very light. So I'll let you be the judge. Shannon says, oh man, I don't know, Shannon, did you see it yet? Well, you can on Canopy, and there's no wait, and you can watch it at any time. I mean, how wonderful is that? All right, I have one last question, and then I'm going to get to what I'm reading really quick. What was the first film to win the Academy Award for Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actor, Best Actress, and Best Screenplay? So what was the first movie to win them all? Was it One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, Gone with the Wind, It Happened One Night, or Silence of the Lambs? Okay, the first film to win Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actor, Best Actress, and Best Screenplay. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, Gone with the Wind, It Happened One Night, or Silence of the Lambs. So, yes, Lori, it scared the pants off of me. And because it's not just horror, but it's psychological horror, and it's, I don't have enough adjectives. Get me a thesaurus quick. I don't know. I don't know what else to say to that. But Shannon, you did see it, and it is visceral. That is for sure. So everybody always asks me what I'm reading. And Denise is saying Billy says Silence of the Lambs. Denise says Gone with the Wind. Evelyn says It Happened One Night. So, because of everything that's going on in our world, I have been having a tough time reading, and it takes me a lot just to sort of get my head around a book, and I feel like my barometer is off. So normally I can get through 30 pages, 50 pages, and I'm involved, but my meter is very low. And I went through about 5 or 6 different books, and I couldn't find anything after I read the Bill Clegg book. And now I'm reading, which was last week on Hoopla, and it's gone. They took it down. But I am loving this book called Deacon King Kong. So it's by James McBride. He's the author of the National Book Award winning The Good Lord Bird. And he also wrote a beautiful classic called The Color of Water. And March, he came out with this Deacon King Kong, and it was one of the most anticipated books of the year, 2020. So it's about the witnesses of a shooting in Brooklyn during the 1960s in the famous Cause houses in South Brooklyn. It is wise, it is witty, it is very funny, and it has a rich and vivid multicultural history. And a lot of the references they talk about in Brooklyn, I know, or I recognize from growing up there. So that's what I'm reading now, and that is what I cannot put down, and I'm still thinking about it. So I have some bit of the book left, but I'm still thinking about it even now that I'm doing this. Okay, so Lori says it was a Times bestseller. Yeah, it's great. It's really, really good. It's not long, but it's very funny and very easy to get into, and he sets that hook and pulls you right along. Okay, so what was the first film to win the Academy Award for Best Picture, Director, Actor, Actress, and Screenplay? It Happened One Night. I hear cheering. I hear cheering over there, Evelyn. I hear you. Who else said It Happened One Night? Denise, Gone with the Wind. Billy, Silence of the Lambs. Evelyn also, yes. Lori, Silence of the Lambs. So it Happened One Night, and it was also the first film to win the Academy Award. It got Best Picture, Best Director for Frank Capra, Best Actor Clark Gable, Best Actress Claudette Colbert, and Best Screenplay, which was by Robert Riskin. Other films, though, who matched this achievement were One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest and Silence of the Lambs. Cuckoo's Nest was 75 and Silence of the Lambs was 91. So I guess if you guessed Silence of the Lambs and Cuckoo's Nest, you were close, but it just wasn't the first one, but it's probably the first one you remember because you weren't born then. Here's a really quick one. I just want to give you this before we go, because this is also a really quick one. Who was the first actor or actress to win 4 Academy Awards? The first one, Katharine Hepburn, Jack Nicholson, Meryl Streep, or Marlon Brando. So you've got Katharine Hepburn, Jack Nicholson, Meryl Streep, Marlon Brando. And I think that covers everything. I'm going to just show you again a couple of things. Book discussion on Zoom, Wednesday, May 6th. Oh no, there he is. He's back. There's that. I have papers everywhere. Don't forget to register your book for the Belmore Merrick Book Battle. What else is here? And don't forget this, the YouTube channel. Back episodes will be up and running. What else do I have? Oh, Pinterest. Yes, we have a Pinterest page So don't forget to check that out on Pinterest. Denise says Meryl Streep. Lori says Katharine Hepburn. What else do we have? Evelyn says Katharine Hepburn. All right, you ready? So the first actor, actress to win 4 Academy Awards was Katharine Hepburn. So we have a lot of people, but that's okay because she won the Best Actress for Morning Glory in 1933, Guess Who's Coming to Dinner in 1967, The Lion in Winter in 68, and On Golden Pond in 1981. So she was the first one, and then Meryl Streep came after, as we all know, because she can do no wrong. She really can do no wrong. So you all know what I'm reading. Before we go, do you want to throw out some of the things? Denise. Denise, do you want to, no. Does anyone want to mention books that they're reading? Oh, I saw the season finale of Better Call Saul, and it was great. So that's another thing you could watch on Netflix for sure. And you want to check that out. And Erica Swiler says hello. She was here last week. That was an amazing surprise. Amazing surprise. Don't forget to get all your movies on Canopy. I'm going to take my Dr. Pepper. I've kept you long enough. Don't forget to check out our Facebook page. We've got amazing things going on every single day. You've got Billy's Boredom Busters, which features the craft that he made today, completely recyclable. This is how we ended Earth Day with the gauntlet, Thanos' gauntlet, right? You can see that. So he made this, and this is the sort of the conclusion to our Earth Day celebration, Earth Week. And oh yeah, has anyone seen Little Fires on Hulu? I have not seen that yet, but everyone is telling me it's just amazing. So I look forward to that. I guess I'll be watching that after I watch the Lori Flower movie. So that's how we're going to be ending Earth Week. But really, Earth Week is every week. Earth Day is every day. And this is made out of a recycled soda bottle. Maybe it's a recycled Dr. Pepper soda bottle. I mean, you know, stranger things have happened, right? And this little pansy. Good luck to Billy's Boredom Busters trying to get this back. I don't know if that's going to happen. He was nice enough to donate it for the purpose of to be the special guest today, but I don't know if that's going to happen. Great cast. The book is amazing to listen to. That's what Christine is saying about Little Fires. Great, Christine. Thank you. And Billy says he's been reading the Walking Dead graphic novels on Hoopla. Really? All of them are there, or it starts to, well, I did not know that. So I will be checking those out, and I don't think my family's going to see me because I'll just be reading and watching and reading and watching and Dr. Peppering the whole time. So next week, we will be back on this channel. It is Dr. Pepper. You see it in the video. That's right. I did see that in the video. Billy actually did, Billy's Boredom Busters actually did use a bottle of Dr. Pepper. See? So for those of you who don't think that it's really Dr. Pepper, you know, that's all I'm going to say about that. So that book, oh, Irene is reading Una Out of Order. It's on the wait list. Is it worth the read? Yes, it is worth the read. It is very interesting, and I would love if you come back next week or whenever you finish it to let me know what you think of it. I read it on vacation. I actually think I was near you when I read it, but location-wise. And I was on vacation, and I really, really liked it. I thought it was interesting and clever. And yeah, there's a couple of scenes that I thought, wow, but not bad for a debut novel. She did great. Yeah, I think it's worth it. I think it's worth it. And Lori says that book is still on the Times bestseller. Yes, because everybody wants to read Little Fires now, and it's like everything is going crazy with that book. So next week, bring your titles. We'll have a whole new subject. I'm holding this for ransom, and that's all I got. If there's anything else you want to comment or say before I hang up. Oh yes, Lori, you want to read that too? Lori, I may have the galley. Let me look around. I may have it, although I don't know how I'm going to get it to you. But I think I may have a galley of that floating around somewhere. So I'll look for it. And I think that's it. I've kept you longer than 30 minutes. I apologize. So with that, Merrick patrons, we miss you. We love you. We cannot wait to see you back in the building at some point soon. Please know you can follow us on all social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Don't forget the YouTube channel. On a YouTube channel. See, that's live video for you. And I will see you next week. All right, guys. Be good, stay safe, stay healthy, and a great big shout out to the Merrick Library Board of Directors, our director, Dan, and our assistant director, Diane, for all the support. You guys are amazing, and we couldn't do this without you. So thank you very much. Cheers. And again, thanks to all of you, and especially to our first responders. We're nothing without you guys. So, all right, love you. Evelyn, take care. Bye. Thank you, executive producer Lori. Love you. Bye.